BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. And there's more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC. And in between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino. All the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino action. So BetOnline, the game starts here. Yeah, let me ask you this. I want to talk about Joe. Play that Ariel Helwani clip and tell me if you think this is true. I think he nails us here. You got that, Joe? Well, listen, this is just 2 minutes. I want you guys to if this is you have the same take on this. I thought this was interesting.
That's my biggest gripe when it comes to pro wrestling. When people are playing pro wrestler, when it feels like they are playing a character, it bothers me. Why is it working for Logan Paul? It's working for Logan Paul right now because it feels like he is just a dick. Why did it work for Hollywood Hogan? Because it felt like he was truly a dick. We don't believe that John Cena is a dick. We don't believe that John Cena is a bad guy. We don't believe that he wants to be, all ho hum and not answer questions and do the thing at the press conference saying it's clickbait. He doesn't act, feel, look like a bad guy. And so for me, it feels inauthentic. It feels forced. It doesn't feel special. And when you don't explain 2 months later the partnership, the union with The Rock, when you don't explain really 2 months later the partnership and the union with Travis Scott, it feels flat. This should have been the crescendo of a year-long story that really started on the Monday after WrestleMania 40 last week with The Rock and Cody Rhodes, and it could have ended in a beautiful way yesterday, a year later, with The Rock showing up and Cody getting his revenge, or whatever it is, or even The Rock getting his revenge, whatever it is. The Rock doesn't even show up. This whole thing had to do with The Rock, dating back to last year in Philadelphia. And then, of course, in Toronto, and then he doesn't show up. And why is I still don't understand why Travis Scott is there. Still don't understand. Now, again, this is fun. This is entertainment. And I know he's doing the thing now. I'm going to ruin pro wrestling. I'm going to take the belt. And I get it. And I bet if someone was on the creative team listening to this to be like, just wait and see how it's all playing out. Well, I'm judging it right now, Monday, April 21st at 1:13 p.m. Eastern. Right now, it feels flat. Right now, there's too many holes in it. Right now, there was a thread, and someone took a scissor and cut it. There is no continuity anymore. There is no connection. What is the connection between Cena and Travis Scott? If you're telling us wait and see, well, what better time than WrestleMania to explain that connection? And we're supposed to believe that Travis Scott is going to be some kind of threat to Cody Rhodes? Come on.
What's your take on that, Brian?
Well, I don't think the problem is that people don't think that John Cena is a bad guy, because there's a lot of people that if they're good at their job, you're going to boo them or cheer them whether you think they're a good or a bad guy. I think the problem with John Cena in his heel run now is every promo that he's cut feels like a promo that he had in his mind in like 2012. And he's now doing it here today. When he talks about, you guys booed me, you guys didn't accept me, all this and that. It's like, yeah, maybe if you would have turned heel in 2012, like this would have all made sense. But dude, you've been here back, you've come here, you've left, you've come here, you've left for like a decade, and they cheer you every time. They never boo you. They always treat you like a giant superstar. And now you're out here doing the, you guys booed me, you guys, blah, blah. And it's kind of like, they didn't do that. He is playing a character. He's playing a bad guy pro wrestler now because nothing happened in the last 10 years that he's referencing. He's referencing stuff from like 2002.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Brian. I'm sorry to cut you off because I'll forget. Here's the thing. He was kind of forced into this. Okay.
Yes.
And we know that. And so, like, when you say some people are buying it and some people aren't, here's a problem. There's a lot of people that have been watching wrestling for maybe 5 years or under, or 10 years or under. Bro, between you, me, Disco, Ariel, right? That's a lot of years. So we see through that. And I always say when you're booking, you want to keep everybody happy. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the hardcore fans shooting holes into into your booking. And so we notice shit like that. You know, for example, I'll give you an example of somebody who plays a excellent bad guy and they don't do shit with him. Karrion Kross.
Yes.
He's a believable bad guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original idea of him turning heel at Mania, I mean, there's a decent chance if you would have done 6 weeks after Elimination Chamber of back and forth babyface promos with Cena and Cody, there's a chance maybe people would have turned on Cena, and then he does his heel turn, and now he actually has something to talk about that we all saw with our own eyes. But this storyline reminds me of the worst of TNA, when one of the things that drove me crazy that they would do in TNA is out of nowhere, they would suddenly start telling you a story. Like, I can think of a perfect example, but let's just say that, like, you had two guys out there, and for 5 years you've been watching them do whatever, and then one day they'd be like, these two guys are best friends, and this guy got beaten up, and now he's really upset about it because it's his best friend. And as a viewer, you're like, they were best friends? I never saw them do anything together.
Right.
But they would create this story, and then they would want you to care about it because they told you the story, but you never actually saw the story. And that's where we are with John Cena. They're telling us this story. He's telling us a story that we treated him so badly, that we booed him out of buildings, that we had no respect for him.
And I think they gambled, Brian, on, wow, this is going to be so unexpected. It'll make up for the lack of logic.
But it doesn't. You
Right.
got to have some
Right.
semblance of logic. You have to show us something so that when we hear, we're like, you know, actually a good example, which it's a nothing story, but I like that they did it. They had Randy Orton give Nick Aldis an RKO, okay?
Right.
Gives him the RKO. Nick Aldis is all angry. And Randy Orton says, last year, I gave you an RKO, and I got fined $100,000. But I paid $200,000, and I warned you that that was for next time.
Right.
And I don't even know if at the time they knew they were going to do this.
Right.
But a fucking year later, he gives the guy the RKO, and Aldis is all mad, and Randy goes, I told you, I already paid for this last year. And I was like, God damn, he did. It wasn't something they pulled out of thin air. It was like something that we saw that they followed up on. Like, it's just to me, it's basic storytelling. Show, don't tell. You can tell, but you better tell me something that you also showed me.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.